What is good, everybody? Man, it's your boy Jay, the building. Is back again with another one. Now, hold up. Before we get this video started, if y'all see me with this shirt on, know it's me, man. Shout out. I'm not selling any merch anytime soon, but I do have a few of these shirts or whatever. So, it didn't come out like how I wanted to, so I'm gonna try and get this fixed or whatever. So whenever I start selling stuff, man, I'll definitely let y'all know, man. But yeah, we have this is my SWAC championship game. I cannot tell a lie. This is the two teams that I have playing in the SWAC championship game. Got Jackson State versus Grambling State. Let me just get right into this game, man. Now, I have 3 different matchups that I am definitely looking forward to seeing. And the first matchup I'm looking forward to is the 2 DNs, Brian Powell and Santia Anderson versus Willis Patrick and Dimitri Jordan, the 2 offensive tackles. Now, with Powell and King Anderson, these 2 are one of the best, or a few of the best pass rushers in the SWAC. Both these guys can definitely get to the passer. I think Powell was the sack leader last season. Anderson is a first-team all-conference player. I think both these guys are preseason all-conference. I have Anderson as one of my top 3 guys to win SWAC Defensive Player of the Year. I think he's that lethal. I think he can definitely get to the passer. He is a definite workhorse, getting to the ball, as well as Brian Powell. His pass rushing skills are incredible, and I'm interested to see how well they bowl against Patrick and Jordan. And those 2 have been a godsend to Jackson State since they stepped on the scene with these first 2 games. I don't think neither of those guys giving up a sack. Even though Shador Sanders has been sacked, a few of his sacks has been in between the tackles. So I think though that matchup is definitely going to be interesting. I wonder how that matchup is going to bode well with each other. The next matchup, man, I think it's very important, man. You got the Grambling State running backs versus the front 7 of Jackson State. Maurice Washington, Chance Williams, Floyd Chalk IV, all 3 of those guys are going to get their opportunities to run the ball. With Maurice Washington being the leading rusher, but Chance Williams is the leading receiver of the team so far. And we're going to talk about the receivers in a moment, but I do believe all 3 of those guys are going to get their opportunities with this nasty front 7, man, who I believe is one of the best in the country, with Aubrey Miller and Hobson at linebacker. Then you got Niles Gaddy, who has been on fire these first 2 games, man. You got Justin Raggant, you got Jeremiah Brown, and you have a lot of interchangeable pieces on that defensive line that they're going to create a lot of pressure. Now, what's going to be interesting to see is if the young offensive line for Grambling State can hold up against this front 7. Now, mind you, they have a few freshmen that started on this offensive line, so they're still pretty young. And if they can get their chemistry together, because mind you, they had a real tough game week 1. They did well last week. So I'm wondering to see how they bode well against Jackson State. That's going to be an interesting matchup too. And this is probably my favorite matchup, man. The Grambling State wide receivers versus the DBs of Jackson State. Now with this one, there's a big height advantage. You have Tyson Bardo, who's 6'5", Faison Wilson, who's 6'4". You have Greg White, who's 6'3". You have J.R. Waters, who's 6'3", but is a speed demon. And you have Noah Bean, who's 6'2", 230 at tight end. And of course you have London Raz, who is probably their best receiver or one of their best receivers, or at least their leading receiver. You know, he had that long touchdown run of like 80 something yards for a touchdown. So this is definitely going to be an interesting matchup against the DBs. Of course, Travis Hunter isn't playing, but he's 6'1", so I'm interested to see how well these DBs play without Travis Hunter, even though they did play very well. I don't know if Nugget is going to play. Look, that's a very, very deep mystery. We don't know, but we did see him with Coach Prime on video yesterday or the other day. So I'm wondering, you know, he was giving him some game. So I'm pretty sure he is going to start, hopefully. But he's 6'1". You got Kaverick Wiggins, who's 5'11". You have John Huggins, who is not only going to play in the secondary, but they're also going to use him to pass rush. He's 6'2". Isaiah Bolden, who's probably their tallest corner, he's 6'2". Jalen Hughes, who's 6'1". You have Petty Anderson, who's 5'11". So there's a big height advantage with Grambling State receivers that could bode well if used correctly. Now, of course, Jackson State is going to play a lot of man coverage, and if y'all saw and really paid close attention to last week's game, there are a lot of routes that were open that the receivers just couldn't bring in. They had a few slants that got some guys dropped, but you can also credit that to the pass rush. And what Hawkins is going to have to do is he's going to have to get the ball out of his hands quickly. He's going to have to learn to do what Shedeur Sanders has been doing these first two games, taking what the defense gives you. Yeah, look, throw the curl here, throw the slant there, throw a hitch there. You know what I'm saying? And let the receivers work. They're going to have room to work. Just get it to them. You know, but with these big body receivers, the slants are going to be open. The crossing routes are going to be open. The corner routes, the comebacks, the post, those routes are going to be open if the Grambling State offensive line can hold up well enough. Because Tennessee State had a lot of drop balls. They had a lot of drop balls from what I saw. But of course, I can also credit that to the defensive line getting to the quarterback, creating that pressure in which the pass may not have been on target. So if Grambling State is gonna want to win this game, they're gonna have to catch, the receivers are gonna have to catch everything thrown to them, and of course with them having the height advantage, they can also use their big bodies to shield the DBs just in case they get inside them. I think that's going to be very important. The slant routes are going to be open. If they're able to shield their body and catch the ball, get 4 yards here, 5 yards here, move the change, you'll be good to go. But the running game is going to be very important to Grambling State. They're going to have to establish the running game to establish some sort of dominance on offense. And you might going to have to keep up with them in the scoring. Just in case the defense isn't going to be able to hold up, even though I do believe Grambling State does have some adequate DBs in the secondary. I like Ray Estes. I like Quincy Mitchell. I like Donald Lee. I like some of the few others that they have in the secondary. So it is going to be important to see how well they play against the receivers of Jackson State. Shedeur Sanders spreads the ball around and he doesn't care who's open. As long as you're open, he's going to give it to you. Kevin Coleman, you got Kevin Coleman, man. You got Shane Hooks. You have Dallas Daniels. They're all going to spread the ball around. Now, I am interested to see if Malachi Wideman is going to play some this week. Now, of course, a few other matchups that I'm going to be looking for is the running backs of Jackson State versus the linebackers of Grambling. I definitely like Lewis and Josh Reed a lot. Of course, with Lewis won Defensive Player of the Week, week 1. So, and he leads the SWAC in tackles. So, he definitely has a nose for the ball. And of course, with Joshua Reed being the team captain, they are definitely going to have some opportunities to get at least 8 to 10 tackles this game. You know, because of course, Jackson State is going to want to try and establish the run, especially with Wilkerson. Wilkerson has also been a godsend to Jackson State. He definitely gives them something that they didn't have last year. And I do believe that they are better for it this year. Now, the only reason why Wilkerson didn't have more carries is because he was losing wind, you know, and so he wasn't getting as many carries as he probably would have had he had more wind in the system. But J.D. Martin is definitely a good running back. I hope Santee Marshall gets some carries this week because the fumble problems were a wreck last week. So if Jackson State could hold on to the ball, that would be pretty good. Now, if I'm Grambling State, of course you're gonna have to establish the run, let them know that you're all gonna be running the ball. But if I'm Jackson State, I'm setting a statement. I'm throwing deep first play. I'm throwing it to J.R. Waters, look, Maurice Washington and J.R. Waters, I believe, are going to be the fastest guys on the field. And you're going to have to use that to your advantage. The deep ball is going to be there. When it's going to be there, I don't know. Even though, look, the majority of this game, Jackson State is going to play man coverage. They're going to play zero coverage. So the deep balls are going to be open. The fly routes, the corners, the posts, the dig routes, they are all going to be open. As well as the crossing routes, the comebacks, like I said. They are all going to be open. You're just going to have to figure out when it's going to be safe to throw them. Because the pressure is coming. And now that they have a lot more guys in the secondary, John Huggins blitzes more. Cameron Simon Craig blitzes a lot more. He plays in the box more now. Gregory Gray is going to be blitzing some. So they have some guys in the secondary that are going to be blitzing, in which they have a lot more speedsters blitzing. So it is going to be harder to get the ball off. If they are able to hold long enough, and look, at least 3 seconds, the routes will be open. You're just going to have to rely on Grambling State to hold on to the pressure long enough for the ball to get there. You know, but the quarterback matchup is going to be interesting. Of course, with Shedeur Sanders, he has almost 600 yards passing in the first 2 games with 6 touchdowns and no interceptions. With Q Hawkins, who has over 300 yards with 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. Shedeur Sanders, who's completing over 75% of his passes, with Q Hawkins, who's completing barely over 50. So he stood now. Faison Wilson don't have any catches so far. You're gonna have to throw him the ball. Tyson Bardot only has 1 catch. You're gonna have to throw him the ball more. You know, I don't know what's up with Greg White because he didn't play last week. Hopefully he gets a chance to play this week. But he only has 1 catch. I don't know if he's hurt or not, but you're going to have to throw him the ball. You know, so Q Hawkins is going to have to spread the ball around because remember, Chance Williams is their leading receiver. You know, so he's going to have to throw it to his receivers a lot more. So I can't wait to see the matchup. I'm absolutely excited, man. Like I said, there are a lot of matchups that I am going to be looking at. This is definitely going to be interesting, man. And I absolutely can't wait. And like I said, man, when y'all see somebody with this shirt, you know it's me. I'm excited, man. I can't wait for it. I'll be flying out there later on tonight. I'll get there tomorrow morning, but I'm definitely excited, man. Like I said, this is my SWAC championship game preview. I have so much respect for Grambling. I don't know why nobody else does. It's weird, man, because I had him as one of my favorites since February. I had since February, probably earlier than that. But I have a lot of respect for Grambling, man, and I hope this turns out to be a good game. Now, I do have Jackson State winning this game, of course, but I do believe it's going to be close. This is going to be absolutely close. If Grambling State offense can score some points like I know they are capable of doing, this could be a barn burner, man. Jackson State's defense could have a hard time, but this is Jackson State's first home game. But this home game does come with some stipulations, of course, because they're still dealing with their water crisis. And there was also a rumor of if this game was still going to happen at Jackson State. And luckily it is. But I don't know with this thing that's happening, I don't know how many people in the stands you're going to see. But if you see 50 plus, it could be a problem for Grambling. And then there is that old saying that home field advantage really doesn't matter in HBCU football. Well, at Jackson State it does. And that fan, I'm pretty sure, and look, I can hear the fans when I'm actually watching. So for me to be there and actually experience it is going to be a different feeling, I believe. So I'm definitely going to be interested. I'm definitely can't wait. I definitely can't wait, man. And look, if y'all tailgating, man, y'all let me know. I didn't see no flyers of nobody tailgating, especially with this water crisis thing happening. I don't know if y'all tailgating or not, man. Y'all let me know if y'all tailgating, man. Look, I got some Jackson State apparel. I got some Grambling State shirts, man. So I'm going to be bringing both. If y'all say I need a shirt in order to eat, I'm going to bring both. So I'm gonna treat this like a festival. I'm gonna go to each and every table that has food, and I'm gonna eat. I'm a big guy, man, so I gotta eat. Yeah, but I'm so ready for this game. I'm so ready.